I want to give you a real quick tip of the week. We're today fishing in a body of water where there's some high flyers coming through. Those high flyers are those rainbow trout out here in the Black Hills. But that's not unlike the crappie fishing in the late season. So the fish are up in that area, and there's a biological reason for that. Right underneath the ice, there's a lot of aquatic insects that have died, and their bodies and the larvae have floated to the top, and they become encrusted into the bottom of the ice. And later in the season, when we get some rain washing in, the insects, the aquatic insects, start dropping back down in because their bodies are no longer neutrally buoyant. It's a real easy, high protein meal for these fish that are coming through, whether it's a crappie right underneath the ice, or in this case, like we are out here, fishing for rainbows. So on your Vexilar, even though you're down there, you're fishing in the weeds, you're fishing for whatever it is, for me, I'm almost always gonna pull way up over my head and just jig up there for a minute. And you'll be surprised how many flashes you see. That's why I've got a 36 dead meat here because I'm a shorter guy, 5'8". I can get almost 8 or 9 feet up off the bottom and then come right back down, and look for those flashes up there. Don't ignore that empty water. Just because it's empty doesn't mean there's not a fish right over by Isaiah, my man Isaiah over here. So again, I'm Scott Brower, Cold Snap Outdoors. That's your tip of the week. Don't ignore the top water too.
When fishing tungsten jigs, there's a technique that I like to do with my line right where it's tied to the head of the tungsten jig to make sure it stays horizontal. After every time I rebait or every time I catch a fish, I do this. And what I do is I pull the line so the line comes back towards the point of the hook on the jig. And by doing that, it sits perfectly horizontal in the water column, and fish love that presentation. I'm Matt Pachanich at your Midwest Outdoor Tip of the Week.
There we go. That's what those little buggers are, huh? You get faced with a tough bite. Sometimes going to a tiny little fly with no bait, like this new VMC bull fly. Check that pretty puppy out. They did a great job with these. Comes in a variety of fish catching colors, as well as sizes in 64th, 32nd, and 16th ounce to match just about any conditions. You just want to fish them with no bait. Look at that action on those. You just get that thing kicking is all you want to do. Find the right speed they like, and they'll slam them. For more information on VMC baits, check Rapala.com. I'm Tony Boschold, and this is your Midwest Outdoors Tip of the Week.